How brutal was the 2021 season? Think elbows out racing at 300 kph, two generational talents trading blows from Bahrain to Abu Dhabi, and a finale so controversial it forced the rulebook to be rewritten. This is the story, race by race, of how Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton took Formula One to the edge, how one era closed and another began. We open under the Sakhir lights in Bahrain. Hamilton and Verstappen are immediately on different strategies. Red Bull with the faster car, Mercedes with the sharper calls. Max passes Lewis late, but he's judged to have done it off track and gives the place back. Hamilton clings on by 7/10. Statement number 1. The champion can still defend like a lion. Statement number 2. Verstappen is going to be there every weekend. Round 2, Imola's Emilia-Romagna GP brings rain, rage, and wheel to wheel. Verstappen muscles past Hamilton off the line and owns the soaked afternoon. Hamilton slides into the gravel, reverses out, and still charges back to P2 after a red flag reset. Max wins. The score's 1-1 in the fight. Portugal and Spain tilt the table back to Mercedes. In Portimão, Hamilton outfoxes Verstappen with pace management. In Barcelona, Mercedes two-stop strategy traps Red Bull. Hamilton hunts Max down with laps to spare. It looks like the old chess master has the measure of the young bruiser. Monaco flips the script. Verstappen dominates the principality, takes the points lead for the first time, and Red Bull feel like title favorites. Baku, though, is where 2021 shows its teeth. Verstappen is cruising to victory when his rear tire explodes on the main straight. Red flag, 2-lap shootout. Hamilton gets a golden chance from P2, and then accidentally hits a brake bias magic setting at the restart. He sails straight on and scores nothing. Sergio Perez wins. Both title contenders leave with 0. The tension fires to white-hot. France and the Styrian-Austrian doubleheader of Verstappen's middle-season masterpiece. At Paul Ricard, he undercuts and then passes Hamilton on track near the end. Clean, clinical, definitive. At the Red Bull Ring, he completes a triple. Styria and Austria go to Max, and the championship momentum is orange. Silverstone becomes the first explosion. Sprint Saturday gives Verstappen 3 points and pole for Sunday. But the real moment is lap 1, Copse Corner. Hamilton dives inside, the two touch at almost 300 kph, and Verstappen slams into the barrier. Hamilton gets a time penalty, serves it, and still wins in front of a roaring home crowd after passing Charles Leclerc late. Red Bull are apoplectic, Mercedes insist it's a racing incident, and the rivalry turns bitter. From now on, every millimeter of asphalt is a war zone. Hungary is chaos in slow motion. Valtteri Bottas misjudges the wet turn 1 braking, torpedoes Lando Norris, and the concertina damages both Red Bulls. Perez retires, Verstappen's floor is wrecked. Esteban Ocon takes an astonishing win for Alpine after Fernando Alonso defends Hamilton with samurai precision. Verstappen salvages a single point. Hamilton leaves with the championship lead. In a season about tiny margins, this was a massive swing born from one mistake. 3 cars ahead. Belgium is the strangest chapter. Relentless rain. Formation laps behind the safety car. And half points awarded. Verstappen is classified the winner after qualifying P1. It's a technicality, but in a title decided by inches, every decimal matters. Zandvoort, Dutch, orange, everywhere, belongs entirely to Max. He wins at home and recaptures control. Monza is the second explosion. Sprint sets the grid. The race pairs Hamilton and Verstappen in a pit exit drag to the first chicane. Neither yields. Verstappen rides the sausage curb. His Red Bull ends up on top of Hamilton's Mercedes, and the halo likely prevents tragedy. Both are out. Daniel Ricciardo wins for McLaren, but the headlines are all Verstappen versus Hamilton. Who crossed the line? The stewards hand Max a 3-place penalty for the next race. The rivalry crosses a psychological Rubicon. Russia writes a parable about pressure and rain. Lando Norris looks set for a fairy tale victory until late showers catch him on slicks. Hamilton bolts on inters, wins his 100th Grand Prix. and the swing pendulum arcs again. Turkey is Valtteri Bottas's day. Verstappen P2, keeping the title lead intact. Then comes a 4-race stretch that defines Verstappen's claim to the crown. In Austin, Hamilton throws everything at him, but Max wins with superior tire management and undercut timing. Mexico is a Verstappen clinic into turn 1, and never looking back. Brazil is the weekend from the movies. Hamilton disqualified from qualifying for a rear wing infringement. Starts the sprint at the back, charges to P5, then drops to P10 with an engine change penalty on Sunday, only to carve through the field, pass Verstappen for the lead, and win. It's arguably the greatest drive of his career, and a reminder that the Lion is still very much alive. Qatar returns to order. Hamilton wins again. The title picture knots tighter. Saudi Arabia, the penultimate round at a brand new high-speed street circuit, is a fever dream. Verstappen crashes on the final corner in qualifying chasing pole. Hamilton starts ahead. The race is red flagged twice, restarted 3 times, and laced with penalties, dive bombs, and mutual fury. Hamilton wins. Verstappen is penalized for how he gave the place back after an aggressive overtake attempt. When the dust settles, they are tied on points going to Abu Dhabi, with Verstappen ahead on countback thanks to more wins. You could not script it tighter. And then Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi. Strategy split early. Hamilton starts on mediums, Verstappen on softs. Lewis launches perfectly, controls the pace, and looks set to seal title number 8 with ruthless serenity. Late in the race, a safety car for Nicholas Latifi's crash flips the table. What follows is the sport's most disputed procedural call in modern times. Only the lapped cars between Hamilton and Verstappen are waved through, and the safety car comes in 1 lap earlier than expected, setting up a 1-lap shootout. Verstappen, on fresh softs, dives down the inside of turn 5 and takes the lead. He crosses the line as world champion, Red Bull erupt, Mercedes protest, and the paddock goes to war over the regulations. Months later, the FIA's report cites human error in the application of the safety car procedure, but leaves the result and Verstappen's title standing. The era of Hamilton's dominance is officially over, and the Verstappen age begins with a supernova. Zoom out, and 2021 reads like a serialized epic. Mercedes win the Constructors' title, the last flourish of the black-silver machine that ruled the hybrid era, while Red Bull win the driver's crown with a 24-year-old who refused to blink. Across 22 Grand Prix, the lead swung repeatedly. The 2 principals touched wheels at Silverstone and Monza, stared each other down at Jeddah, and arrived in Abu Dhabi level on points. Nothing separated them but decisions, details, and destiny. If you're new here and love this kind of story-driven F1 deep dive, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments, what was the real turning point of 2021? Silverstone, Hungary, Brazil, or Abu Dhabi? Was 2021 brutal? Absolutely. It was also magnificent. The margins were savage because the level was astronomical. Hamilton, at the peak of his craft, produced one of his greatest late-season surges. Verstappen, hungry and unafraid, engineered a season of relentless intensity and seized the single opening that came. The controversies matter. So do the laps that were run perfectly under impossible pressure. In the end, 2021 didn't just crown a champion. It bridged eras, from the precision of Hamilton's dominance to the ferocity of Verstappen's reign. It reminded us why we watch, because sometimes 2 giants share the same moment in time, and neither is willing to step aside. If you want a single sentence to answer the title, the 2021 season was brutal because it demanded perfection and punished anyone who blinked.